All right, welcome everyone. We are live. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm here with my good friend Brenten MeGee. Been a while since you've been on last time, so feel free to introduce yourself and what you've been up to.
Well, hi, David. Hello, everyone. I know it's been like 11 months of being crazy and busy. I've been doing well and been incredibly busy with some music projects and stuff. 2020 has brought like not as much music things in 2020. And that can partially be a good thing, partially can be a bad thing. Um, but when my mom was like, man, you got like, you did all this music for years and you're not doing music. I was like, Mom, we can't because of a pandemic. And she prayed that I'd get some music opportunities because she was worried for me. And boy, 2021, God must have answered her prayers because I have gotten a bunch of music things. I mean, the choir scene is coming back, and now that I'm fully vaccinated, I can sing in person and doing some virtual choirs with singing with people all over the world. And it's been fun and busy. So it feels like the life that I'm used to doing, which is singing a lot, has come back, which I'm very grateful for. So that's what I've been busy with.
That is great. And you have two albums currently out, and I think you have one on the way. Feel free to tell us a little bit about your albums.
Yeah, sure. So I actually, I can't really talk much about it right now because it's still in the works. I actually am thinking about doing two albums in the coming year. Um, One would be another classical album. And I have a couple friends that have just wrote pieces for tenor to sing. And I think I really like a lot of these pieces a lot. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done a CD in like a few years. Maybe I should release a new CD of classical album. So I'm still in the works of getting, recording these brand new works, art songs, and it should be fun. I might do some Baroque songs as well that can complement, these new songs that have never been performed before. So it's not like I can go to a recording or, and say, this is how the song sounds. I'm basically going to be learning it on the spot with the composer's help. And then my other CD that I'm doing coming up is going to be more of a Christian sacred CD. And that's going to hopefully be next year. I was going to do it in 2020, but because of the pandemic, it kind of just stopped everything. So we still are being careful. I think next year would be a good time because I think the pandemic will be even better next year. Hopefully there's not going to be another pandemic or something. But it should be good next year to release these two CDs is the plan. And then the two CDs that I've had multiple CDs, but I have two CDs on Spotify, iTunes, and other streaming sources. And that is Hidden Valleys, which deals with songs of inspiration through dark times, that God will help you through the midst of good times, through a variety of songs. Like Hidden Valleys, like He Loved Me with a Cross, like You Raised Me Up. And the other album, Coughs of Heaven, that's more of an art song kind of CD, classical CD. It has like the Pearl Fishers duet. It has a couple other numbers, Glück das mir verblieb by Korngold, and other songs, some Steve Green songs, like Be at Rest and others, God and God Alone. So that's kind of that album, and it's been a joy to record. I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things with recording a new two new albums. That's the plan, and I'll keep you posted when that is.
Okay, awesome. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to these albums. If you want, feel free to perform something from your albums, or feel free to perform anything you want. I know you can perform whatever you want. So the floor is yours. And I'm going to put you in solo mode so everyone can see you nice and large. Everyone
Okay,
can have a
great.
good.
Well, I would remit to not say that I am not going to do any songs from the new albums yet. And the reason is because we're still, just because of, I want to reveal the art song when it's in the full stages. We're still learning the music. I finally found a piano accompanist, which is great. But I figured you like Dan Forrest. So I
Yes.
figured I would do a Dan Forrest song.
Oh, yes. I love Dan Forrest. The Requiem for the Living and Jubilate
Yes.
Deo are just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I've sung both of those things, and they're really great songs here. So I really like Dan Forrest. So I got his Sacred Songs of Dan Forrest, and I'm like, there's one in here I really wanted to do. Where is it? I thought it was in here. And Can It Be? There it is.
Yep, I love that piece.
And that song is a great song. But I'm not gonna do it yet. When I'm ready to release I'm not gonna do songs from my new albums yet. I will in the coming months, hopefully, when that's done. Or maybe next time I can get an accompanist and do it here. So, all right, let me do this. These songs here. What happened here? This is a Dan Forrest song. I did this a couple times before, and it's called "And Can It Be." And can it be? And can it be? Amazing love, how can it be? And can it be that I should gain an interest in the Savior's blood? Guide me who for may cause this pain, for me who him to death pursued. Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, shouldst die for me? He left his Father's throne above, so free, so infinite his grace, emptied himself of all but love, and bled from Adam's helpless race. 'Tis mercy all in men set free. For thou, my God, it found out me. And can it be? Amazing love, how can it be? Condemnation now I dread. Jesus, all in him is mine, alive in him for living head, and clothed in righteousness divine. Approach the eternal throne, and came the crown to Christ my it's time for me. There's one song.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A wonderful performance, and I absolutely love the arrangement of "And Kennett" by Dan Forrest. Love the melody, just an exquisite accompaniment. But yeah,
It's tough. Yeah, it's a really, and I just saying off the spot just now,
yeah,
just making it, but it's a really great song. Accompaniment difficult. Accompaniment very difficult, but it's very nice melody and really great song. So I highly encourage anybody who's listening to sing anything Dan Forrest if they like church music or choral music in general. I just did his Shalom, which is a kind of a nice piece. His new choral project with a choir director friend from New York, Vincent, and I had a great time singing Shalom. So if you look up Brenten MeGee Shalom or Dan Forrest Shalom, there's a virtual choir of me singing Shalom with a bunch of friends, and that was really a lot of fun.
Yep. I will try and find the link for that and post it in
I
the
can
site.
send it to you.
Yeah, feel free to send it to me, and I will put it in the description. That way, people can go and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Let's see here. We have a question or comments from one of my good friends, Creo. Any jazz compositions? Not sure.
Oh, sure. So I work at a nursing home full time, and I'm a music associate, performing arts associate, and it's been fun because like a lot of people know me as a singer. He's the tenor from Lancaster County, the boy that I once knew, and that's great to be known as that. But it is fun to also do some piano. So mainly since I couldn't sing at friends' home for a year, I could play piano. So I basically play piano every day at my job, pretty much, and it is a lot of fun. So I do all kinds of music. I do jazz music. I do, gospel music, classical music, and I can find one jazz piece. It's written for a movie. Let me get it up here. And let's see. Here it is. And it's called Be Kind, Rewind. It's actually from the movie Be Kind, Rewind. And it's a lot of great songs in here. Like I Ain't Got Nobody. A lot of songs by Spencer Williams and arranged by Jean-Michel Bernard. And it's kind of like a Gershwin type early 20th century American style. So hopefully that's what he means by jazzy. I haven't composed a jazzy composition, but I play some jazz songs. So if that's okay with everybody, I'll play this Be Kind, Rewind song. There's a jazzy song for you.
Nice. Can you repeat the name of the song?
It's called Be Kind, Rewind. Be Kind, Rewind. I've got the music right here. Can you see it?
Yep.
Be Kind, Rewind.
Yep.
There's
we go.
another one, if there's a chance. There's a Beatles arrangement. I'm trying to find it. It's a jazzy Beatles arrangement here. Yes, there it is. There it is. And they're arranged. It doesn't say who arranged it. It just says the Beatles for jazz piano, which my mom always likes. My mom grew up a huge Beatles fan, and there's a lot of great songs in here, like "Nowhere Man." Just, you know that song from the Beatles?
I
There's
think so, maybe.
Paul McCartney and John Lennon piece. Sorry, this is so twisted. There we go. This is another great jazzy one. "Nowhere Man." It's kind of a smoother jazz one. That's a great arrangement. Oh, Steve Hill arranged these. Steve Hill, yeah, he's a jazz arranger of many songs, piano arranger. So yeah, great. So there's two jazzy songs
Yep.
for you all.
Gotta love a little bit of a jazz. Um,
Of course.
so within the classical era, the classical music, do you have a favorite era, Baroque?
That's a good question. It depends on the composer and stuff, I feel. Um, I like 20th century a lot. I like Baroque, but I also like it. That's a hard question. That's a really hard question.
Yep.
Let's see. I love, if I put a period, I probably like the 20th century just because of the variety of music, but I love the Baroque period as well. The Bachs, the Handels, the Vivaldis, the Monteverdis, the Schutz, those kind of composers. Cadermisi, Charpentier, those kind of composers. Early Baroque, maybe late Baroque.
So,
Handel, anything Handel is really nice.
oh yeah,
Anything Bach is really nice.
yeah, I love Bach and I absolutely adore Handel. Speaking of Handel, not sure if you could play a little bit of Handel. One of my personal favorites being Samson. If you could possibly play Total Eclipse from that
Oh, yeah.
oratorio.
Oh, Total Eclipse, boy.
I love
I
that
haven't done
aria.
that in a few years. Let me look it up here. I did that when I was a grad student for voice.
Yeah, while you're actually
I'll look it up.
looking for that, are you doing still working on your master's, or are you doing your doctoral stuff now?
Well, I'm not doing a doctorate right now, but I'm thinking about it. Right now, I'm taking some time off. I'm still have an exit exam coming up in the fall. That was put off because of the pandemic, because I couldn't go into Westchester campus because I wasn't registered for classes. So I took all these classes and decided to push the exam back, and then the pandemic happened, and then they couldn't let me take the exam until, um, the pandemic is ending, and students that don't register for classes can go back to school. So I will hopefully have my Masters of Choral Conducting in the fall. That's the plan. So I've been studying away for that thing. So that's the plan. As far as a doctorate or another master's, I will see. I'll keep you updated. There's some possibilities, but we'll have to see. Right now, I'm filled with life right now musically. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now and where God has placed me. Let's see if I can download this file. That's not it. Sometimes they say Total Eclipse and it's not Total Eclipse. And it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that might be the one. This iPad thing I highly recommend for musicians. You can just pull up tons of music in here.
Yep, I love
All
my
right,
iPad.
yeah, I did this. Is George Frederick Handel piece. And it's a great piece. It's a Total Eclipse. You see it all right?
So,
Like that? All right.
yep, perfect.
Total eclipse, no sun, no moon, or dark, amidst the place of noon. Oh, glorious light, no cheering ray, no glad my eyes with welcome ray. dark amidst the blaze of noon, thy thoughts deprived, thy prime decree. Sun, moon, and stars are dark to me. Sun, moon, and stars. Sun, moon, and stars are dark to me. Sun, moon, and stars. Sun, moon, and stars are dark to me. Something like that. Boy, I haven't done that one in 5 years. So you're giving me all the songs I haven't done in a long time.
Yeah.
So hope people like it. So it's good.
Yep.
So, but that's a great song. I love that piece, and it might be a song that I record in the future sometime. Great song.
Oh yeah, love that piece. Love the entire oratorio. Always,
Sure.
it's definitely one of the underrated works from Handel. Everyone knows Messiah, but
Yes.
the others. Let's see here. Fantasy. Cleo asked, "Do you know Fantasy Impromptu?" I'm guessing that's what he means. The Chopin piece. Um, I'm guessing that I'm guessing he means the Chopin piece, Fantasy Impromptu.
Oh, do I know? Oh my gosh.
Golly, that is a very difficult piece.
I know. You guys are giving me the tough ones, man. What do you think I am? Some like robot? I'm kidding here. Oh my gosh. I think I've heard it. The one I know by Chopin is his prelude in E minor, the one page. Da 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 dum. Fantasy Impromptu. Let me see. Let me hear it. Let's see how it sounds. Oh yeah, this one. Oh gosh, you're gonna kill me. That's the one. That's the Oh my gosh. How about this? I'll play a Chopin piece that I know really well, and that's the Chopin Prelude in E minor.
That
So
sounds
hopefully that will
great.
work. So that will work much better. You might
Yeah,
have to give me a couple of weeks to learn that one.
yep.
Let's see. Chopin Preludes. I remember I studied this piece in when I was in high school, and later I found out that this Chopin piece is it's only one page, so there's not a lot of pages in the piece. And I found out in college that this is probably moving, one of the most exquisite compositions for only being one page. I mean, it's just fascinating. The whole piece is just fantastic. And it's the Prelude in E minor. Now, the copy I've got is 2 pages, but it's one page. I meant for it to be written for one page here. So this will make up hopefully for the fantasy one, Chopin's Prelude in E minor. It's one of my favorite pieces on the piano. It's so simple, but
Oh yeah,
so exquisite and effective. So sorry for the fantasy. I can't. I mean, I can try, but it would be probably wouldn't sound too
yeah,
good.
not a problem.
I'm sight reading today. It's fun.
Yeah. So when it comes to vocal technique, how does it compare? How does singing opera compare to singing, let's say, church music, jazz, pop, R&B, rock? What are the various vocal techniques that is used?
Well, it's multiple techniques, depending on the style of opera. But I think what you mean by opera is the bel canto technique, which is a technique that means it's really a technique of legato. All the phrases sound the same, of equal value, right? So when you're singing in opera, it's all about the breath and the contour of line. Where does the line go? When you're dealing with church music, it's much more the opposite case. It's much more separated. Like, great is thy faithfulness. It doesn't have the contour of line like nessun dorma. Nessun dorma. Nessun dorma. Instead of, bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, that makes sense.
Showcasing the two different styles. So it's really the way you sing the vowels. Like in Italian and German, you really anything European, it's going to be vowel focused. The vowels are very like more open and closed and much more vowel focused. And in United States, it's much more consonant focused and much more lazier on the vowels. So bless the Lord instead of bless the Lord. Unless you're dealing with like African American spirituals, which would be a totally different style. But if you're dealing with anything pop, worship music, even some hymns, unless it's classical leaning, it's going to be more what we call pop vowels that are not fully classicalized, Italianized vowels. So it has to deal with phrasing, breath. Plus, a lot of people can't sing opera. Only certain kinds of people can sing opera, really trained singers. So, and it takes years to sing opera because of the language and the breath support and the dynamics and the range and the phrasing. Anybody could sing Grace Thy Faithfulness, but not many people can sing Nessun Dorma. So it takes
Yeah.
the right kind of tenor singer to sing that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, what type of stuff goes on behind the scenes in creating an album? Um, most
Oh,
people,
creating an album.
yeah, everyone pretty much sees the final product, but doesn't really get to see the whole stuff going on behind the scenes.
Right. So there's a big process to creating an album. So you do what we call the first thing you do is you start picking the songs and the name of the album. And then you meet with a couple people. So I meet with a couple people about what we want to do, what's the album entitled, what should we put in the album, what song goes with each song, and a lot of times you have multiple songs and you can only limit the songs to certain songs because you can't put like 80 songs on an album. That people just don't want to listen to that. They want to listen to 10 to 12 songs on an album. So when you do that and you put the songs in, a lot of times you change the songs last minute. Sometimes the song doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't fit the album's style. And then once you set up, then you go to the studio and you talk to the person that's helping you record, like the producer of the album, and you talk about this plan. And once the plan is set up, then we go to the process of checking to see if the songs, how much the songs cost. If I'm recording is a big, and I talked about this with a friend the other day, there's two kinds of things when you're doing an album. You can either do an album where you write your own music and your own songs, and that you're fine with. You can record your own songs and do that. There's no problem. And then you have the other option where if you record a song, especially a song from the 20th century, you have to pay the person who owns the song whatever the money they ask for. Kind of like, you know what I mean? So if I wanted to do like You Raised Me Up, which I recorded, that cost me a lot of money because Capitol Records owns the rights of that song. So I can't just record that song and just put it on my album without paying the person who owns those songs. Like there's a person that owns the Beatles songs. There's a person who owns Michael Jackson songs. So you have to take care of all the legalities and making sure that, how much the song is, whether we get permission to record the song, if we recorded the song, how much would we pay to put that song on my album. So there's a process to that. Once you've got that, now that's not the case with classical music. So for example, if I recorded anything Handel, it's what we call public domain. If I take a hymnal from a hymn and recorded Amazing Grace, that's fine because there's no one that owns the right to that. But if I decided to record Thriller by Michael Jackson, I'd have to pay whoever owns Michael Jackson's song, right? If I wanted to record God Bless America by Irving Berlin, I'd have to pay whoever owns Irving Berlin's songs. So there's a process. So you can either, you have public domain music, which you can record, write your own music, which you can record without paying anything, and then checking to see if there's a song that is not public domain, do you have permission to do it? And if you do, how much it's going to cost. Once you get through all that, then you go to the process of recording the album. And you can either do it by going to a church, which I've done before, or go to a studio and you have headphones and you really listen to your track and you record it. Some performers, they record one time and it sounds great. Sometimes it's like the person recording the album says, you didn't do as good on the second verse. There's not enough emotion on it. Can you do that one again? It's what we call dubbing. You just re-record certain sections of the piece. And then once you get through that, then you go through a process of going to the studio where you can listen to yourself sing. And if you're a little bit flat, a little bit sharp, there's a pitch identification, I can't remember what it's called. It's a pitch change. You can change the pitch, and if you're flat, you can raise the pitch, stuff like that. There was one time I recorded, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I was recording a duet and the person's mic was not good. And there was a motorcyclist in the studio. Ah, you could hear that. So we spent an hour, a good hour and a half trying to get the motorcycle sound out of the album, which I think John is his name, did a great job. John Lavasser did a great job. The person I worked with, I was on the Courts of Heaven album. That was something. And then God and God Alone, the arrangement that I didn't actually use Steve Green's arrangement. I did my own arrangement of that song. So I orchestrated it and added drums and strings and stuff like that. Once you've got done all the recording, then it's a matter of post-production. So then you deal with the album cover, taking photos. What do you want the album to look like and stuff like that, and putting the song names. And then you go through how many CDs you would like to buy and where would you like to put the album, Spotify, iTunes, etc. Depending on the company you use, whether a record company or a private label. So I use CD Baby is the company I used. And so we bought 1,000 albums. And then we put it on all the sites like iTunes and Spotify, and then you release the album. So that's the process of that. It's a big process, and it's very time consuming, and it's a lot of money. But you don't have to do all of that if you want to record your own music and release that. And a lot of people use singles too, so you could also just record a single song set or something like that. But it's a process. It's a process, but it's enjoyable.
Yep. Very interesting. Yeah. And is there any plans to do some of the stuff that you were going to be doing? I know we were originally going to be doing. I think last year you invited me to perform in the 7 Last Words. Are we going to be scheduling that?
Yeah, so my church choir, I was planning to do that. That's a church choir thing. So I work at a church called Millersville Community United Methodist Church. And I've been there for this is my 6th year. Can you believe it? And I was going to do the 7 Last Words of Christ for Lenten season. This was in 2020, March of 2020. And as you all know, we couldn't do it in March. We had to cancel because of the pandemic, because of the COVID pandemic. And my choir has not been back since. Now, I've been back at church and I've been singing some solos and doing some piano things where I play the church service and lead the hymns. We finally, this past Easter, allowed congregational singing for the hymns, which was amazing. But we have not had the choir yet. It is on my bucket list, David, and I am thinking about rescheduling it. And I will let you know when that happens, but it won't be for a little bit of time because it's a piece for the spring. It's a piece right before Easter, so we're just past Easter. So it hopefully in the next coming of years I will do that piece because I really want to do that. And I'm sad that it didn't work out, but I know hopefully one day I will be able to conduct that with some church choir or some choir, community choir in the future. And I'll let you know about that.
Yep.
And that's the 7 Last Words of Christ by Theodore Dubois. If people don't know that piece, it's a wonderful work. 7 movements that deals with really Jesus Christ's crucifixion. And then it's really there's only one section of it that's Easter. It's not even Easter necessarily, but it's really a praiseworthy, the hymn, Christ we do all adore thee. But that's pretty much the only thing that's really post-crucifixion. So it deals with the crucifixion is the main idea of the piece by Theodore Dubois, French 19th century romantic composer. It's a little bit like Sir John Stainer's Crucifixion a little bit.
Yeah, that is a marvelous work. I really enjoy that work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we've been going for almost 50 minutes. Is there anything else you want to perform or do before we call it a night?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what I can find. Do you want me to sing a song, play the song on piano? Well, I did a lot of piano singing. Let me do, see if I can find something Steve Green here. Let's see here. Maybe A Mighty Fortress Is Our God. Would that be a good one? Would you
Yeah,
like
that
to
sounds
hear
great.
that? A cappella? Mighty
Yeah, that
Fortress?
sounds great.
Great. I'll do it a cappella. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing, a helper ye amid the flood of mortal ills prevailing. For still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal. Did we in our own strength confide, our striving would be losing. Were not the right man on our side, the man of God's own choosing? You ask who that may be. Christ Jesus, it is he. Lord Sabaoth, his name. From age to age the same. And he must win the battle. And through this world with devils filled should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God hath willed his truth to triumph through us. The Prince of Darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, for lo, his doom is sure. One little word shall fell him. That word above our earthly powers, no thanks to them abideth. The Spirit and the gifts are ours, through him who with us abideth. Let good and kindred go, this mortal life also, the body they may kill. God's truth abideth still. His kingdom is forever. His kingdom is forever. His kingdom is forever and ever.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I had a really great time.
Thank you, David. We'll have to do this again. I've got some upcoming projects that hopefully soon I can tell you more about.
Oh,
Okay?
absolutely. Sounds great. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
it.
you,
And if
David.
people want to learn more about you or follow you on Facebook or Twitter, where could they go? Oh,
A couple of sources, sure. You can look up Brenten MeGee, Brenten space Meegee, all E's, lowercase, except the first letters. My YouTube page is called Brenten Sings for Him, Brenten, sings for him. And then my website is brentensings.com, BRENTENSINGS.com. If you would like to get in contact with me, I have a Facebook, Brenten MeGee, and you can send me a friend request there. I also have an Instagram called, I think it's called Brenten MeGee, if I'm not mistaken. Brenten MeGee on Facebook. And then I have Instagram. I have Instagram, which is Brenten MeGee. And then I also have Snapchat as well. I think it's DB McGee, DBMEGEE. That's right. Just made sure. And then I also have a Twitter as well. I think under Brenten MeGee. So I have multiple ways you can reach me.
yep. Well, thank you so much. And the link for all of this will be in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for joining. Anything else you want to say before we head on out?
No, I thank you for this opportunity, and I hopefully the next time I do this will not be 11 months later, that it will be sooner than that. And
Oh, yeah,
thank you
definitely.
for all you doing for supporting my music and stuff like that. You've always been a good friend, and I keep up what you're doing on the podcast. It seems like it's going really well. Happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to close up in a little bit of a prayer, go right ahead.
Sure. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this time together. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about music, to share about music, to talk with others about life and in general. We are so thankful that we can worship you freely and be with you and celebrate what you have done in regards to music and life. And we just pray for everybody who is going through COVID still after over a year of this, that you will bring them to peace and rest, and they will trust in you. We give you the praise in your name. Amen.
Thank you guys so much for joining and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell notification. Got a lot of great stuff coming up, so don't want to miss it. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.